Okay, let's talk about commission split. So when it comes to selling a house, I used to do this all on an iPad and I kind of like writing it out better, but you have three people that all have their hand out wanting to get paid. You have a listing agent, which that's me. You have a title company, and then you have the buyer's agent, which we don't know who that is yet, but that'll be the agent representing the buyer. So, title company, what I always tell everybody, if you'll count 1% for the title company, that should cover the title fees. Now, title company, you're going to have to do that. Even if you were to do for sale by owner, you have to pay the title company. Now, it's frustrating to me because when agents meet with sellers, a lot of times they won't talk about the title fees, and that's a big part of this. But title company fees, that gets rid of, or that includes like termite clearance, revenue stamps, title search. So this 1% kind of becomes a wastebasket term for a lot of fees. But if you calculate about 1%, that should take care of anything dealing with the title company. Now, for listing fee, I do like to list my properties. I like to do a 3%. When I first got started, I would do less than that, but kind of as a protection to my family at this point to not take every single listing, I do like to do 3% on my listing side. So you might have heard a lot of stuff changed in August of 2024. That's not true. Things were supposed to change in August of 2024, but it's kind of worked out that everything ended up being the same. But in August, they were saying, hey, a seller should not be paying a buyer's agent. A seller could could pay the listing agent, but why are they paying the buyer's agent? So that makes a lot of sense. The reasoning behind that makes sense, but the problem is, as a buyer, they have to come up with closing costs. They have to come up with a down payment. If they have to then also pay a realtor, we're going to end up losing our buyer's pool. And so even though that's what everything was supposed to be set up, at least in Northwest Arkansas, still, the norm so far is still that when you list a house, you offer something to the buyer's agent that's bringing the buyer. So, we could offer, what I always say is we could offer 0%. And if we offer 0%, we completely de-incentivize anybody from showing the house. So they're on their way to show the property. They call and say, hey, I'm about ready to show your property. What are you offering on buyer agent commission? And I say, actually, the buyer's not offering anything. It's a 0%. Well, unfortunately, suddenly their car's going to have problems or their kid's going to be sick or something. So we don't want to de-incentivize them to show. Every agent wants 3%, but what I have seen is really I'm seeing no difference in the amount of showings if we offer 3% or if we offer 2.5%. I'm not seeing any change. You could push and maybe say 2%, but 2%, I feel like you're maybe kind of racing to the bottom. I mean, we can do whatever you want to, but 2.5%, I have seen no difference in the amount of showings between 3% and 2.5%. So with that said, you got 3, 4, 6.5. So 6.5% of any offer that we are given, we're going to take 6.5% out of that to figure out what your walkaway is. So let's just play with the number 335 just as an example. So at 335 times 6.5%, I have my calculator out of screen here. So if we do 335 times 0.065, that's going to be 21,775. I'm going to round that up to 22,000. So 335 minus 22,000 for, this is all commissions, commission for both agents and title fees. Now the commissions won't change. Whatever we agree on, the commissions won't change. Title fees will have a little bit of fluctuation, but like I said, if we count 1%, that should get us real close. So So we're at 313. Did I do that right? Yep. So 313 as your walk away at a 335 sales price. So hopefully all that kind of makes sense. I'm sure you have questions on it, but that's kind of what I present when I talk to people at their house. So hopefully this helps. I'll get this uploaded, and yeah, we can go from there.